بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد. So today we'll be reciting the 9th juz, and we're beginning with the verse وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا فِي قَرْيَةٍ مِّن نَبِيٍّ إِلَّا أَخَذْنَا أَهْلَهَا بِالْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَضَّرَّعُونَ. In this verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we didn't send to any town or village a prophet except that we seized them, its residents, with hardships and difficulties, financial difficulties, which was in their health and in their livelihoods. But Allah Ta'ala gives a reason why. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَضَّرَّعُونَ, so that they turn in humbleness and humility to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. This has happened with many nations before. Here the Quraysh are also being told, the Mushrikeen are being told, look, take heed. This is what Allah Ta'ala does. This is His customary practice, and the same applies to us. Sometimes we're in a good position in terms of our health, in terms of our wealth, we're all comfortable. When a time comes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a flash takes something away. In a flash your health changes, your life changes. That affects your occupation, it affects your job, and then you're financially hit too. It doesn't take long. In a flash your life can be turned around. But whenever you are faced with any hardship of any kind, you should understand why. What does Allah Ta'ala want? لَعَلَّهُمْ يَضَّرَّعُونَ. In this hardship there is a blessing, and that is that you turn back to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Next, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala talks about وَلَوْ أَنَّ أَهْلَ الْقُرَىٰ آمَنُوا وَاتَّقَوْا لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَرَكَاتٍ مِّنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Only if the people of the town, they were to bring iman and adopt taqwa, Allah Ta'ala says, we would have opened the doors of barakat, of blessings from the skies and from the earth. So the blessings which Allah Ta'ala talks about, the barakah can be an increase in quantity, but not always. It can also be an increase in the quality of a certain thing, that it lasts you much longer. The increase in the usefulness of a certain thing. So in a short frame of time, you can complete and fulfill so many things which you may not have been able to do in hours and days and years. So that is what you call barakah. So Allah Ta'ala says He would open the doors of barakah from the skies and from the earth. Barakah all around, wholesomeness, goodness, an increase in everything. Only if you to bring iman and taqwa. Now if you look back 1,000 years ago, 1,400 years ago, they were very less in means. But they had the barakah because of the iman and taqwa. So they conquered a third of the world, whilst Umar radiallahu anh was still lying there with a brick under his head as a pillow. That was the state of the emperor, of the ruler, of the Amir al-Mu'mineen, of 1/3 of the entire world. Why? Because they had iman and taqwa. Today we have an abundance of wealth. The Muslims have the entire wealth of the world. Where does the petrol and the diesel and the oil and everything come from? From the Muslim lands. Where's the treasures of the gold and everything? From Africa and from the various Muslim countries. But yet, with the increase in inventions, innovations, with devices, with the click of fingers your food is ordered. With the click of fingers from across the world in China you're getting parcels. Despite that, the amount of new things that we have and facilities we have, that is how much more worried we are, distressed we are, dissatisfied we are. Why? Because the barakah has been lost. We say everything needs to be faster, internet connection needs to be faster, everything needs to be faster, the cars need to be faster, yet we say we don't have time. Whereas there, the road and donkeys and camels, they had plenty of time. That is a proof that we have no barakah. Why? We have lost our iman and taqwa. The desired level of our iman and taqwa is not there. May Allah Ta'ala bless us with those. Allah Ta'ala then says, أَفَأَمِنَ أَهْلُ الْقُرَىٰ أَنْ يَأْتِيَهُمْ بَعْسُنَا بَيَاتًا وَهُمْ نَائِمُونَ. Have people become secure? The people of the town, have they become secure from the punishment of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that He can afflict them during the night whilst they're asleep, or whilst they're out and about in their daily lives? Have they become secure? The way we act during the night, the way we act during the day is as though we're not going to be afflicted with any punishment. We're safe. Earthquakes happen elsewhere, floods happen elsewhere, volcanoes erupt elsewhere. We're safe. Allah Ta'ala says, أَفَأَمِنُوا مَكْرَ اللَّهِ. Have you really become secure from the makr and from the plan of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala? Only the losers will have such a thought. So it's a sign that whenever we see things happening around the world, don't think we can be at peace. This is a warning from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the story of Musa alayhi salam and Fir'aun, where Musa alayhi salam says to Fir'aun, Ya Fir'aun, inni rasulun min Rabbil Alameen. I am the messenger of Allah, of Rabbul Alameen. And he asks, so, what's your proof? So Musa alayhi salam throws his staff, which becomes Thu'ban Mubin, a large serpent. And he immediately becomes frightened and seeks refuge with Musa alayhi salam there. And he shows another sign, وَنَزَعَ يَدَهُ. He pulls out his hand and it's gleaming and glowing. Immediately, the people say, this person's a magician. يُرِيدُ أَن يُخْرِجَكُم مِّنْ أَرْضِكُمْ. You know what? He's come with a plan. He wants to drive you out from your own land. And this is always the case. Wherever the truth becomes apparent and people have no response to it, the immediate reaction is, these people want to take over. They want to make this whole country, as theirs. And this phobia is created amongst the ethnic people of that land, that these people are foreign. They just want to take over your entire land and drive you out. So therefore, you should not accept them. This is what Fir'aun's tactic was. So he called, let's call for the magicians. Magicians came and they cast their sihr and their sorcery and their magic. And Musa alayhi salam was inspired to cast his staff, which became a large serpent, started to swallow up everything that they had thrown. And the magicians immediately realized that this cannot be any sorcery and magic. This was their art, and they knew the difference between something which was magic and something which was a miracle. And they immediately fell in prostration and they declared their faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which shows, when we stand up with the truth against the most tyrannical rulers of the time, the most oppressive regime of the time, with less in means, but with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as long as you stand true to your faith and to your da'wah, when there's a clash between the da'wah of haqq and the da'wah of batil, the haqq will always prevail. So that is one thing that we should uphold, the da'wah of haqq. Wherever we take the haqq, immediately